Good morning, garden friends. Today we are going to be working in the area around the greenhouse. As I stated, my goal is to make that area into a cut flower bed. Now, as you guys know, I hand water my garden. And as I stated before, the realization of with my schedule, especially for work, I need to be working smarter when it comes to the garden so that I can, maintain it. So I am actually partnering with Garden in a Minute with their watering grid system. One of the things that we ended up doing was we got the beds filled up, and the ideal is to plant the seedlings that I ended up doing about a couple weeks ago. It's not time yet for me to put them in, but I want to show you guys how well these guys are doing in the greenhouse. But I want to be able to get the grid set up so that when it is time for me to plant my seedlings, it'll be all ready. And then the other bed on the other side, some plants that I have moved or purchased to use at a later time, I'm going to go ahead and get those guys in the bed. So come on with me, guys. All right, so let's go on in to the greenhouse so I can show you how things are doing. But this is the unit that I'm going to be doing this collaboration with Garden in a Minute, that I'm going to actually get this bed here set up to transplant full season seedlings that I have been growing. And then guys, look at my containers. You see the muley grass? I did cut down the gregaria so that the muley grass could showcase. But let's go on in here and see how well my plants are doing. Look at that. Those are my purple queens on the top. These here are my snapdragons, and then this is snapdragons on this side and stock flowers on this side. And then I do have my other cool season seedlings that have been in the refrigerator for 2 weeks that I'm gonna go ahead and direct sow those guys. But then guys, this is the other thing that I've been doing. I propagated my mother of a thousands. They're doing well. I got 2 trays of those. And then my dandelions and spider plants are doing well too. So I'm really excited about that, seeing how these guys are doing here in the greenhouse. And this is the thing, when I do my other seedlings that I get prepared for in February, those will be done inside the house, because I think I might end up trying some out here too, especially since Kevin's figuring out a way how to run heat out here. But man, guys, this is looking good. So like I said, the first thing that I'm gonna do is go and get the grid set up. I'll walk you guys through the process. Like I said, this is my first time using the Garden in a Minute watering grid, but it is to assist me in making sure that, especially over here in the cut garden area, that my plants stay nicely watered, because this is a full sun area. As you can see, even with the sun just coming up into the greenhouse, there's a lot of light that comes through. So I want to make sure that I have something in place that as these seedlings are taking root, they are having the proper moisture for them to end up growing. Because based off of what Nikki stated, when I plant these guys out in mid-October, I should be able to have a harvest in January, and I'm excited about that. So let's go ahead and take a look at this product. Okay, so I got the 3x6 garden grid for this bed because I think this is going to end up fitting in here nicely. And this is what the units look like in regards to connecting. Okay, so we got, so let's undo this. So you got the grids, which they will equate to 6 feet in length. And then we're going to be connecting these guys together. And then this here is the unit that I will be connecting my water source to. I think I'm going to have Kevin, you know, use some of his, what are those U-shape connectors to have this mounted up on the framework of the raised bed. And then this here is called the riser, and that's if the soil is below the top of your garden. Use this to raise it up so that when you connect, which I'm assuming is to this, but we shall see. So the first thing I want to do, because they did say on a clean surface for connecting these. Okay. Oh, this way. Go ahead and get these guys lined up. At least it probably should do this on a flat surface so that I can maneuver and get these guys snugly, in here. I'm gonna go into my my shed and put this together, and then I'll bring it out. But that's just the premise behind how this ends up connecting into making it 6 foot in length and 3 foot wide. So let me go ahead and get this connected, guys, and then I'll come back out. All right, guys, so I got it all put together, and I ain't gonna lie, it was tough, and only in regards to making sure the connections were nice and snug. But one of the things that I did was I let it lay out in the sun to soften up, you know, the material. Now, what we're gonna be doing, or what Kevin's gonna be doing, is this is the connector. He's gonna drill through here so that we can run the piping out under here to where this piece is going to be out. And then if we have whatever we have to cut off, we'll cut it off and then connect the other piece so that this is like positioned nicely under here, and then out of the way so it won't be banging up it. So Kevin's going to get his tools to go ahead and get it drilled in here, and then we can feed that through. But I'm loving this. You know, this is that, what is this, 12 by 12? And it gives me a good gauge for me positioning my seedlings in here, and then, you know, the good water coverage. So I'm really excited to see how this is going to work out for me, making my garden life a whole lot easier. Okay, as you can see, Kevin was able to drill through and have the connector right in line with the tip of the connector here. So that's gonna work out perfect. Okay guys, now a couple things that I'm probably gonna have to do. You can see how it is definitely watering the area. I might have to take it a little bit further out, a little higher, but also look like I need to twist the openings. But yeah, this is gonna be fantastic. Oh, I'm excited. Nice job, Garden in a Minute. I'm loving the garden grid watering system. This is a game changer for me. Love it. Now, the one thing that Kevin did mention, because he did get this set up and mounted, is that we're gonna probably get a pressure reducer to have it like more balanced in regards to the water. But this will end up looking and working very, very nicely for my cut flowers. This is fantastic. All right, now that we have this set up, let's go on over to the other bed and me share with you some of the plants that I'm going to be planting in the other bed. So, some of the plants that I'm going to be planting in here. I'm going to be planting my other Montauk daisy. This guy will get 24 to 36 inches tall and 18 to 24 wide. So I'm going to put that in the corner. I have my, what are these? These are my double scoop lemon cream echinaceas. I just love echinaceas. And I believe when I read the note, it said that these guys should get 18 to 24 inches in height. And I have a couple of ones in the bed over there that has already bloomed. I need to probably cut them back. And then I have the, what is this? Yarrow, the pink yarrow. And that's just for color and filler. So because this soil has fertilizer in it, I'm not going to fertilize any of these plants because these are perennials. Everything that's going to be in this bed is going to be drought tolerant because I'm trying to make sure, you know, I'm not overwatering anything. So let's go ahead and get these guys planted. And I'm going to put this on the corner. And like I said, we ended up utilizing the soil 3, but because it broke down so much, we had to fill these beds back up again. Oh, look at this. Already, them squirrels got nuts in this bed. Already. Already looks pretty. I am more than likely going to get some more of the Montauk daisies. because because of the height that these guys get, and I think it'll look really nice. So let me just go ahead and get this planted here, and just maybe I'll get 5 more Montauk's, because these guys are definitely flowers that can be cut. Now they won't come back, but they can be cut. All right, guys, slowly but surely this is coming along. I have some autumn joy sedum that I think, like clippings, I want to put in like up in the front of here, and to give it a chance to fill in and get rooted. I think that's what I'm gonna do. You know, like I said, while this is to be like a cut area, I'm just trying it out, you know. And you know that the one bed over there will be my main one that I'm gonna be trying it out, but just still want beautiful flowers. Now, the other thing that I'm going to be doing is, because of how many of the seedlings that I got of the snapdragons, the stalk flowers, what else did I plant? The Queen Anne's. I'm going to go ahead and intertwine some of those in here. So the thought process is, as these guys die back, the good thing about the echinacea here in Georgia, they'll stay green. The greenery will stay. Pretty much the same for the yarrow. So I will be weaving in some of my cool season flowers in this bed, and just be aware of the moisture, you know, that I am putting in here, because they'll need to be able to be watered, but I don't want it to damage the root system on these guys getting root rot. So that is the other thing that I'm going to be doing. All right, so I went ahead and got 3 more of the Montauk daisies to put in here. And then, like I said, I took some clippings from my sedum to be like a filler in front of these. Now these guys will die back, but they will come back. And I think with that mauve color, it'll look really pretty in this bed. And like I said, when I go to plant my cool seasons, I'm going to weave some of those in here. And like I said, you know, the initial project was not only getting this bed done, but also my collaboration with Garden in Minutes. So, but I also lined up some of the autumn joy sedum on this bed too. I got, I believe, another week before I can plant the cool season flowers back here, and to be able to get this bed done. I'm really excited about how this cut garden area is going to look, and I cannot thank Garden in Minutes for collaborating with me on their grid system. As I stated, it is a 3x6, and I'm gonna fill this baby up. Well, guys, thank you again for visiting Inspiring Garden Corner. And if you enjoy my content, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. I so appreciate it.